In 2021, in the Hassan district in India's southwestern state of Karnataka, a leopard went rogue. She was a 2-year-old female and had likely been independent from her mother for 6 months or so, but something was drawing her from the wilderness into civilization. Rather than being wary of humans and the sounds associated with their communities, she deliberately sought them out. She saw livestock as potential prey and started wreaking havoc on the rural communities in the area. But that was the least of their worries. She quickly learned that people were easier to hunt than livestock, and in February 2021 turned her attention to the locals. Indians living in the rural countryside are aware of the threat wildlife poses to them and their farm animals, but it seemed that no one was safe, not even those in the cities. To the east of Hassan, a leopard had been seen entering a residential apartment complex in the city of Bangalore. Luckily, nobody was hurt, and a team from the forest department captured it and released it into the wild. Just days later, another leopard was spotted at the tourist spot of Brindavan Gardens in Krishna Raja Sagara Reservoir in Manja district. Although sightings of leopards appeared to be on the increase, no one had been attacked or threatened by one in recent months. Not yet, anyway. But that was about to change. On Tuesday, February 22, 2021, a 12-year-old boy called Nandan and his mother were on the way to their farm. As they walked along the dusty road from their rural village, they felt like they were being watched. Nervously, they scanned the surrounding shrubs and bushes that lined the track. There was definitely something out there, but they couldn't see anything. Leopards are the masters of camouflage and of stealth. Hurriedly, the two of them continued to their farm, and Nandan went straight away to feed the cows. But his intuitions had been correct. There was something out there. He was being stalked by a predator. A leopard was following him closely, her eyes fixed on the boy, her footsteps silent upon the ground. She crept within striking distance, biding her time. As Nandan was leaning over one of the wooden fences, the leopard rushed at him. He caught a glimpse of its fur, a flash of black and yellow as it pounced on top of him. He let out a yell, but there was no time for his mother to come running. One bite from the leopard's powerful jaws and he would be gone. Typically, leopards go for the throat in an attempt to either suffocate their prey or break its spinal cord. Nandan had to fight back. It had him pinned to the ground, the weight of it pressing down on him. Its jaws were just inches from his face. It pushed its face forwards and bit into his shoulder. Its claws dug into his chest. He cried out again and again and tried to push it off him, holding its fearsome canines away from his neck. When he realized that he didn't have the strength to fight the animal off him, he quickly pulled his arm back and jabbed it in the eye with his finger. The leopard immediately leapt backwards and ran away into the surrounding undergrowth. Nandan jumped to his feet and raced to find help. He was injured, but he was alive, and his quick thinking had saved his life. But there was more to come. When wildlife officials heard of the attack on Nandan, they set up a search team to track and capture the rogue leopard. It needed to be relocated before it could cause any more damage. The following day, a team of experts, including veterinarians, searched the surrounding bush near the farm. Soon, they picked up signs of the leopard and followed its trail. As they were tentatively combing the thick undergrowth, closing in on the animal, it suddenly rushed out from behind a bush. It launched itself at one of the vets, and he was floored by the animal. The rest of the team heard his cries for help and came to the rescue. Spooked by the shouts from the others, the leopard left the vet and ran away. The team were shaken. They now knew that they were dealing with a bold leopard, one that wasn't afraid to take on humans. Before she could be tracked again, the leopard was about to make another attack. This time, Rajagopal Naik, his wife Chandrama, and their child Kiran had just been attending a wedding. After the celebrations, they were on their way home to their village of Bendikere near Avaskere Taluk. All three were crammed onto their motorcycle, riding along the road in all their finery. But just like the boy, Nandan, and the vet, they were being watched. They didn't know it at the time, but they were heading closer and closer to the rogue leopard. It was waiting for its opportune moment to pounce. the leopard persisted in hunting humans. Whatever drove her to purposefully hunt man, she was becoming more dangerous. As Rajagopal motored the bike around a corner, the leopard struck again. She pounced from behind a tree, launching herself at the motorbike from behind. Rajagopal just saw a flash of color. Seconds later, he heard his daughter cry out. The leopard had dived forwards and caught her on the leg. The force from the knock shunted the motorbike sideways and sent the three of them flying off and onto the ground. The bike veered across the road and crashed on the opposite side. Before the three could react, the leopard pounced on top of Chandrama. Seeing his wife struggling beneath the leopard, Rajagopal jumped to his feet and ran at it. He crashed into it with all his weight, like an NFL tackle. The leopard was thrown off Chandrama when it was struck, but immediately got to its feet again. This time its focus was on Rajagopal. He stood, slightly crouched, ready for the attack. Man and beast hesitated, shuffled on their feet slightly. Then the leopard launched itself on top of him, and he fell to the floor. Chandrama and Kiran ran off to the village to get help. They could hear the fight behind them, but they ran as fast as they could. Time was key if Rajagopal was going to make it out alive, but little did they know that Rajagopal had a lot more fight in him than they would ever have believed. On the ground, he grappled with the animal, pushing its face away from his. In the commotion, he was bitten and clawed across his face, head, and neck, but his adrenaline was pumping so much that he didn't feel the intensity of the injuries. Instead, he continued to fight back, trying to hit the leopard. He whacked it with his elbow, delivering blow after blow. With the leopard so focused on biting Rajagopal's face, he managed to lock his arms around its neck and turn so that he was now on top of it. Then he positioned his knee across its neck. The pressure built, and the leopard tried desperately to free itself from the headlock, but Rajagopal pushed down harder with his knee. The leopard writhed beneath him, thrashing out with its legs and tail, trying to drag itself away as Rajagopal held fast. It was losing the battle. The oxygen had been sapped from its body. It couldn't breathe, and the fight was almost over. Soon, the leopard's kicking slowed until it stopped altogether and its eyes glazed over. Rajagopal had killed it. He had asphyxiated the predator and sat back, panting hard. Blood trickled down his face. His pristine white wedding shirt was now torn and tattered. Blood spattered down its front. Moments later, locals from the village arrived. They crowded around Rajagopal, in awe of what he had just done. Some took out their mobile phones to film the incident. It wasn't something they saw every day, and he was hailed a hero. But he was clearly shaken by the incident as he sat next to the motionless body of the young leopard. Somebody handed him a bottle of water, and he took a long, grateful glug. Wildlife officials collected the body of the leopard and took it off for analysis at a veterinary lab. Rajagopal and his family were taken to the local hospital, where they were treated for cuts and bruises. It was a dramatic end to an eventful day, and although leopards in India are protected by law, killing one out of self-defense isn't considered illegal. Rajagopal risked his life that day to save his family from meeting their terrifying final affliction.